just turn and share the show. One say the boss, if you know, then you know. No pet PNP card them and no pedigree.
Hey.
Only JLP set the people them free. 22 years them no stop keep tax. From Michael Manley straight to Fincher.
Welcome back to the steady show. Let's go.
Don't mention the one the road that right off. God, I go beat it with the rod and the staff. Face ugly like him, I walk witchcraft. I watch the keys just like the Alfred does.
Let's go. The steady show is live, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, 21 years in a prison. Street prison for Jolyan Silvera. Let's go. MDL in the building. Who else is there? Let me know right now. Let me know who's there right now. Let me know who else is there. Talk to me.
If you want politics, just turn and share the show. One say the boss, if you know, then you know. No pet PNP card them and no pedigree. Only JLP set the people them free. 22 years them no stop keep tax.
21 years for Silvera. Let's go.
Election I try run back. Don't mention the one the road that right off. God, I go beat it with the rod and the staff. Face ugly like him, I walk witchcraft. I watch the keys just like the Alfred does.
Hit the like button. The steady show is live, folks. Hit the like button. Let me know who is there. Black Obsidian, big up yourself. You understand me? Big up MDL. Big up everybody. Big up Gladstone. Let me know who else is there right now. Good evening. Double tap your screen. Hit the like.
Them tell PLI I try thief and just shine.
Yes,
one of them a devil and them forget bind. Get the full term, it a go blow them mind. Blow them mind, it a go blow them mind.
Welcome back to the steady show, everybody. On a big up yourself right now. Silvera is going to prison for 21 years, folks. Big up to the DPP. Big up to the justice system. Justice has been served for Melissa Silvera, and a lot of people, they were skeptical as to what the outcome was going to be. But a lot of people are happy with the outcome. The family, I saw her cousin talking on Nationwide, and the cousin said they're happy with the outcome of the situation. They said one thing they don't like is the possibility that, you understand me, after 13 years on good behavior, he could be eligible for parole. But I think one thing that we need to celebrate is that the justice system is alive and well. A lot of people had a lot of negative things to say, a lot of negative feelings about Sykes. But Sykes gave some explanations today, and from all indications, a lot of people, they agreed with what Sykes had to say. Of course, we still have those people who still believe that it should have gone to trial, it should have been a murder charge, and we understand. People can have feelings about situations. But at the end of the day, we have to be practical about what we're doing. So right now, I want to say big up to everybody. And listen, on this show, we talk and we can disagree on things. We just don't disrespect over here. So let me big up some people. Black Obsidian in the building. MDL in the building. You understand me? Big up to everybody. Who is this? John is in the building. Somebody said, brother, you're... all right, big up yourself, John. You understand me? So good evening to everybody that's watching the show right now. Some people, you probably just see the live and you saw the thumbnail and you just click on it. But for me, this represents a win for the DPP again. A lot of people started discrediting this DPP. And I told them, I say, you see, this DPP, she been the one behind the taking down of the Klansman gang, Black Man, Tasha Miller, and all of those things. You understand me? So this DPP came in with a lot of work under her belt. But a lot of people never believe, you understand me, that any kind of justice would be served. So a couple of different angles we want to look at this evening. First of all, finally we see a Tapa Norris is going to prison. You understand me? Tapa Norris will be going to prison. And the common people in Jamaica, they feared what would have come out of this case, especially when we heard that manslaughter carries a maximum of life, but it's possible that it could be a situation where there would have been no kind of prison time. So everybody knows the breakdown. You understand me? Let me go for the breakdown right now because some people like their facts. And big up to all the people who joined the show this evening just to tell me that it is not no 21 years. It's 20 years and 10 months that it's going to boil down to steady. So you need to correct that. Big up to them, the people that too. That's why I put 21 years there for you. I put it there for YouTube. I put it for YouTube and I also put it for you. Well, big up on yourself same way. But we're not doing that this evening, right? So, the verdict is in. Jolyan Silvera sentenced to 40 years and 10 months concurrent by Justice Sykes. This boils down to 20 years and 10 months in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 30 years. It doesn't necessarily mean it is guaranteed, right? Big up Jamaica with live same way. It doesn't mean that it is guaranteed. It just means that it's possible. And for the people who think that plea deal is something new and this is a special privilege that was afforded to Jolyan Silvera, you don't know your facts. You need to look into what's been happening with a lot of these cases in Jamaica. It's a regular thing, right? And for a lot of people, still in them feelings, a lot of people, I'm sure they did not click on the thumbnail this evening because they don't agree with me that this is a win for the DPP. Some people look like them would have preferred the case go trial and them lose the case rather than we go for manslaughter. Because a lot of people are not going to come back and say they never expected Sykes to go so hard for him still, right? But the last time I checked, look like no rioting go on in Jamaica because of Sykes' decision. So it seems to me that the decision was right. And if it dip on the wrong side, and just dip on the wrong side. A lot of people been wrong and today on the wrong and have been wrong about a lot of things a lot of time. And so for me, I never liked the fact that a lot of people started scapegoating the DPP. I never liked it. And I stood up for the DPP and a lot of people did not like what I had to say. But look at the outcome. The steady has been right again. But a lot of people, they don't like right. They like entertainment. You understand me? I said to you, but the steady is right. You understand me? Elements Grill said, but steady. Silvera will only serve 13 years. You don't know that yet, Elements Grill. Because, it's not guaranteed, but it's possible that he will get to come out in 13 years. One of the things I'm looking at is this. I think this is a start for the justice system. Again, one of the things that a lot of people been overlooking for the longest while is that the judge is bound by the law, right? The accused is bound by the law. The prosecutor is bound by the law. The defense attorney, everybody is bound by the law. And depending on what happens, right? Then if they don't do what is right, I may explain this to a lot of people before, then the case could end up like cartel case, right? Slap on 35 years up front, but they found out that there were procedural errors. So in these situations, procedural errors, they matter. And so I stand by the DPP's decision to secure some kind of sentencing. Somebody like Jolyan Silvera, this is a strong message. And this is a message to the uptown Tapanaris people who believe that the law can't touch them. So this is not just about Melissa Silvera, A lot of people in Jamaica, they need justice, A lot of people in Jamaica, they don't see the justice system working for them. One of the things I like about this is that the black people, the dark-skinned Jamaicans are sending the brown ones to prison. I don't know. I like what it symbolizes for me. You understand me? Because we are always on the losing side. Because, as them say, if you're white, you are right. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, go back. Well, they are sending, the black people are sending the brown man back behind bars. But this time it's not jail, a straight prison for Jolyan Silvera. And we ought to feel happy about that. We are going to celebrate it, whether you believe that he got the right amount of years or whatever, we are going to celebrate the fact that this man is going to prison and that we were not disappointed. We weren't told a bag of nonsense this evening, only to be told that because he never committed crime before and because you have these character witnesses that came up, and because of the explanation that he gave as it relates to provocation and the fact that he had one of Jamaica's best lawyers on the case, you understand me, that they found a way to go around it, because if that was it, then it would have been a riot in a Jamaica this evening. But the fact that there is no riot, enough people quiet, that tells me, say, you understand me? At least a lot of people feel that justice was served. I'm seeing 90 folks watching right now. Only 24 have hit the like button so far. You understand me? All I'm asking you to do is to double tap your screen and hit the like button. And yes, we can talk through a lot of things, right? I'm seeing some people are starting to do it. Double tap your screen just like this, right? And hit the like button. I see some people are doing it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, wow, more people to do it, because every evening, some are just going to watch the steady show and take in the knowledge, whether I want to agree or want to disagree. One thing, is that I'm going to always come and I'm going to say my piece. See, they reach at 32. So some people are listening. If you're new to the show, subscribe to the show. See, we're there at 34. Some people are work with me. Want to double tap the screen and hit the like button, because guess what? I know everything we're going to feel good about, right? How much I did have to sit down through some wicked maths class where you couldn't deal with, but because you don't want it, you don't live through it. You understand me? Whether chemistry class, physics class, sometimes you sit through the class, you don't like it. But at the end of the day, you learn something and you leave better with more information. You get that on the steady show. This is not about feel-good politics every single day. So yes, I support the DPP. I want to big up some other people, because we did some surveys on the show, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to go through some surveys that we did on the show about this DPP matter here, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to find out who was right and who was wrong. By the way, I want to say big up to everybody who's been taking the personality series. For the politicians, we're coming back around to those conversations, you understand? But let us go into some of the surveys that we did about this DPP situation here, because I tell you, a lot of people, they've had high expectations and them crucified the DPP. You understand me? So let me start with some of the earlier ones. You understand me? Let's go back for it. First of all, let's start with this one, right? So I asked the question 3 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks. I say, what do you predict Jolyan Silvera's sentence will be? And 882, the last update, it was 882, right? So it's the same numbers you're going to get. So 6% say other. You understand me? 19% say 11 to 20 years. So the people within that block, they have to share this glory as well, right? But 19% say 11 to 20 years. 0 to 29% said 0 to 10 years total, and somebody say over 20 years. So because it's 20 years and 10 months, then those people, they would be the most accurate. You understand me? But you also share the glory with 11 to 20 years. So big up on yourself. Y'all have been thinking. Them folks been thinking with their cranium and not so much their emotions. And I know that for a lot of people, it's an emotional case. But remember, other cases in Jamaica too, right? So I want to see what just happened to the youth in Ochi the other day. You see Minister of Education talking about that. Let us not just look out for some people. Let us not just be interested in certain cases. For me, this sentence represents something new and fresh that we haven't seen in the justice system. I spoke to some of those things earlier, right? At least it tells us that the politicians, our lawmakers are making laws that the kind of minimums that are there. You understand me? At least at the time, I know some people they're uncomfortable with the fact that the judge gave them the 20 years minimum. But I want to say a couple of things like I used to do on the show. And I'm not going to bore you with a lot of information, right? But just please understand that even with this whole situation where the man has been sent away or will be going away for 21 years, 40 years, 10 months concurrent, which is just going to come down to the 21 years or 20 years, 10 months. Some want to see that already, right? Please understand that even in this situation, even though it might not make no sense, him still can't appeal the thing because him still can come back and say that he was ill-advised in terms of, you know, the matter of the plea bargain, because that's something that defense attorney and the prosecuting attorney got together and they sorted out, and that had to go through the judge as well. So a lot of people have a lot of feelings about it, but the law not really dealing with feelings. Right? The law is the law, and everybody has the right to access and to use the law to their own benefit. You understand me? You can do it and anybody else can. So just understand that when we see something, let us look at this situation as a symbol of what's possible. I believe that for some Jamaicans, the justice system, you understand me, proves to us that it can work, and it does work. You know, always work, and we're not always happy. Right? For instance, the situation where the plea bargain is one of the things that they use to make sure that they clear out the backlog in the courts. And some of us, we're not paying attention to the fact that when things happen and we need witnesses, a lot of times witnesses are not available, witnesses are paid off. We see in a big case in Jamaica, jurors get paid off and so on. And I'm not saying, you understand me, that it couldn't have gone to trial and they wouldn't have gotten it right. But for me, I like the fact that something came out of this and that Silvera would not be walking a free man, because I tell you, right, if it is a situation where he went to trial and he got off the case, for a lot of people, them would have just, all right, that it went to trial, but he walked away and there are no consequences. You see, that kind of reasoning, I know over here so. I know that the kind of reasoning no work over here so. Right? I will stand on what I stand on. If you want to agree, you agree. You want to disagree, you disagree. The whole of we going to have a dinner later on. But for me, I wanted to know that sentencing would have been secured given all the circumstances, the removal of evidence, and all the work that the first investigator and a lot of people failed to do. We have to take those things into consideration. It's more than just what he did, how he did it, and how far he went to cover up himself. Because quite honestly, if the man did an egregious crime, why you think he would have put himself in the position to get maximum penalty? No. He's going to try to put himself in a position where it is impossible for the court to prove definitively, beyond the shadow of any reasonable doubt, that he intentionally murdered his wife. But we've gone through those things already, right? So let us talk about, we probably can look at other surveys, but we're probably not necessary. Let's see what else we looked at. Somebody say, Chief Justice Sykes, this was one of them. Chief Justice Sykes accepted the guilty plea to manslaughter by Jolyan Silvera. Sentencing has been set for March. What is your view? For some people, we had 720 individuals that answered to this one. You understand me? Let's go with the smallest number. Others say 4%. We see some comments there. We probably can't go through all of that. Silvera has a good lawyer, 5% say that. 60% say the ruling is disappointing. And 30, I'm just going with it, right? 31% say it was expected. And 60% say it was disappointing. You understand me? Again, with such a case like this, we never know what's going to happen. When it was at the point where we say, okay, do you think that, you know, Justice Sykes would accept the guilty plea to manslaughter? What is the prediction? 62% say he would have rejected it. You understand me? 38% say he will accept the guilty plea. Again, I put that out there to show you that majority isn't always right. But what I'm glad about on the steady show is that the majority was right in terms of saying, okay, this is the kind of sentencing that we think he's going to get. You understand me? And a majority determines right. It's not feelings, it's not strong emotions that determines right. You understand me? It is looking at everything realistically. When you're dealing with the law, these things do happen. That's why when powerful people get in problems, they don't handle those problems themselves. They get their lawyers to handle them. You understand me? I know I've lost some people because some people don't feel good. Let's go in the comment section and hear what the people say. You know, hear how the justice said he is a good person. God willing, him will serve 13 years. Because they're going to judge good person by whether him have anything on him file. You understand me? Again, if you are fear pick them or your family member them, getting at any kind of situation, right? You would want the best outcome for them, and you would want to know that the law is there. And one of the things that's unfortunate is that when it comes to the law really does not focus on the victim. The law focuses on the process, the processes that are in place to deal with matters such as this. And when you have a skilled lawyer, anything can happen. But I like what I saw on Nationwide. So we saw Champagne's response. Champagne said, no, we're not going to try to appeal this thing at this point. Let's go on Nationwide and let us see if we can find some audio that can speak to some of these situations. Because some people probably not catch the news yet. And then we can hear different people. Honestly, I haven't heard what the DPP said because for me, we've been looking at this thing closely. And we had a very good idea on this show how the outcome would have been regardless of how people felt about it. You understand me? Somebody said Chief Justice explained factors behind 20-year sentence. Someone want to hear the part from Chief Justice already. You understand me? I look at the rise and fall of Jolyan Silvera. That's a whole different situation right there. So, by the way, while I look for this, we expect the PNP to come out and say something. By the way, let us hear the DPP. Since we have got the DPP, let us hear what the DPP has to say. I will start with the DPP, and then we probably can look at Sykes' lawyer, and then we can look at the family member. Let's hear the DPP.
Of, the case.
And I mean,
what do you make of, the case?
And I mean, each case turns on its own set of circumstances. I mean, we had to make decisions in this case based on consultations in the office. We had to make decisions based on the evidence, decisions based on who the witnesses are. So at the end of the day, the collaborative effort inside the office and our case for preparation led us to, one, accept the manslaughter plea and to put ourselves in a position to address the court and sentencing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what we are saying is that justice is
20 years, 10 months. How close to justice for the family do you think the court took that?
Justice.
Justice, I agree.
Justice. The offense was manslaughter, and we got 20 years and 10 months. For murder, sometimes the sentence is just that, 20 years or even less. So, justice.
You feel 20 years, 10 months kind of take the public off your back, as it were, because a lot of people in the public were...
I never felt like the public was on my back. My position is this. Most persons, when they hear manslaughter, they think of a motor vehicle accident and somebody has died. So education is what was required, is what is required. So I didn't feel as if the public was on my back at all. And I knew that when we got into court, and certainly when you were allowed into court, you would hear more. But no, I've never felt like the public was on my back.
What's one of the biggest misconceptions on this matter that you want to hear?
Biggest misconceptions? Well, I don't know what it is that has been said out there much, You know, I'm not on social media. I'm not listening to that. But when we have a file, and we read and prepare the file, we look at the law, and this decision was made based on law. That's it.
The public felt that the prosecution could have tried to, fight this case and probably win.
But what do you mean by fight, though? Because that's exactly what we did. We made a decision. And so I want the public to appreciate that when you talk about going to a trial, you're talking about getting witnesses to come to court, to go into the witness box, and hopefully that they will say what it is they said in a statement some time ago, almost verbatim. We're talking about where this particular case is concerned, putting two little boys in the witness box to speak about what it is they're saying daddy did in respect of mommy. That is something that needs to be taken into consideration as well. So we look at the law, we look at the material we have, we look at getting the witnesses to come to court and basically for them to be consistent in terms of what they said in their written statements. I think we made the right decision today.
I believe so too.
Where the law is concerned, where the statement that the accused man gave is concerned, it was glaringly obvious that there he had the partial defense of provocation.
Good afternoon, 20 years.
Big up to the DPP. I said big up to the DPP. Again, we all don't have to agree, but these, I would have said every single line that the DPP mentioned a while ago as to what they had working with, having to rely on witnesses that would not have been the two little children in their state, would not have been good. We talk about compromised evidence. I like the fact that the DP, I like how she talked to her. First, me actually pay attention to this DPP talking. You see, I like this DPP from day one because I look at the track record of the DPP and how they've been working on. As she said, this is really a matter of, this is a matter of education, you know. See, a lot of people speak on matters that they don't know that much about. But because they already have credibility with people out there, they're believed for the things that they say and they put out there. And they try to push certain narratives. And a lot of times, the narratives that they push out there, the narratives are more political in nature than rooted in truth. So, may understand, say, for some people, delving into this situation and making, you know, blaming the DPP and scapegoating the DPP, especially because of the DPP look, I just find it very interesting that Judge Sykes was the last person that would have had to look at the case, right? But, you know, let Judge Sykes off the hook on the things that the DPP who could have jumped on our back, right? Because anytime we look dark, you know, we are the easiest one, them, you know, for pick pan. It's just a thing with Jamaican people. And I wanted to talk about that. Brilliant DPP, made a good decision. You understand me? If I gotta lose subscribers or viewers for it, no problem at all. You understand me? But we have to, at some point, we have to commit ourselves to learning things beyond what we feel and what we believe. How you gonna learn if the only thing you want to learn is more things that already confirm what you already know and what you already believe? How you gonna do that? You understand me? The first time you took a flight, and and whatever it was, the more you fly now, you know, the more you understand how the whole thing works. But the first time, you had to go through the process. You understand me? For some people, it's more difficult than others. I'm just using that as an example. So for some people, I believe that even with the fact that they had the camera there today, and Sykes was now able to break down a lot of things, because if truth be told, a lot of people never knew that it would have been 20 years. You hear what the DPP say? Yeah? Even if it was a murder trial and it was tried for murder, it could have been the same 20 years or less. So me I try to figure out what people really want. The end goal is for Silvera to be in prison for killing his wife, and that is whether it's murder or manslaughter. We know what him do already. But the provisions in law, you understand me, they must be followed, because before you know it, you know, you follow what crowd say. As I like what she says, she's not on social media and she's not listening. These are people who deal in the law. Why should she compromise her credibility? Because popular opinion say, you understand me, it forgot a trial. And I saw the thing work. I'm seeing 126 like watching now. If the things make sense, we need to see about 20 people hit the like button right now. You understand me? Or else I want bag a hater over here. I need to listen to the truth. Me there are 60 likes right now. Me need 20 more individuals right away. Double tap your screen right now and get me to 80 likes right now. If me I make sense, because it's not feel good politics. This is not a feel good situation. Everything can feel good. If you want to feel good, let me tell you, if you want to feel good, right? Then this is what you do. When I have to go for the one, if you want to feel good, you get a drink. It's not a feel good situation. Me need 10 more likes. You understand me? I said to you, everything can feel good, but it makes sense. So this is a make sense conversation. I still need to see 10 more likes. We need 9 more right now if me I chat good on the show. Right? By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the show as yet, right? We're on the verge of 17K subscribers. We probably need about 20 odd. Want to subscribe to the show too, right? Get the political entertainment otherwise. And sometimes we're quite entertaining over here. But over here, so, we look at reality. And we deal in reality. We don't deal in what we want reality to be or what we wish reality to be. We look at it for what it is. And big up to the Taurus gang out there, because you don't know the Taurus people, we don't love foolishness, and we will stand alone if we have to stand alone. But the truth must be told. I love what the DPP said a while ago. So I wanna come and put some respect for the DPP name. Big up yourself, DPP! Alright, so we need 5 more likes. So some people think something makes sense out here. Give me the 5 more likes and bring it go at 80. Shame the devil and please God that tonight. You don't give me the 5 like them people. Give me the 5 like them and shame the devil that tonight. You understand? We see the 4 more likes and shame the devil tonight Friday night. See that? 4 more likes and shame the devil in that tonight. You don't know me I chat good on the show. You don't have to agree with me for no say me I chat good. You understand me? I need 4 more likes, people. Boy, I call them a big man like me a big likes. So listen, give me 3 more likes and stop ramping me. I'm talking bad up right now. You understand me? I say to you. So let's hear what the people have to say. Yeah, so a lot of people are not going to feel happy about it. And quite frankly, I'm not going to go back and forth. As far as me concerned, I don't know if a lot of people in the comments, if we're not trained lawyers, I want to know more than psychs. I don't know more than the DPP. But sometimes I don't need to rest the situation. Right? This man, the Tapanari's man, is going away for 21 years. And murder or manslaughter, it could have been the same thing because of 15 years minimum for murder. What more do you want, man? Justice has been served in this situation where Melissa Silvera is concerned. And if you don't want to feel away, the family members said them feel good about what happened because they understood how they tried to get away. Put some respect on the DPP name. We need 3 more likes in your people. Right? So that's a DPP. Let's hear what the family member now has to say. Because once the family feel like some kind of justice has been served, I believe it's a beautiful thing. Right? Let's go back to Nationwide and hear what this... Make we hear with the family member officer right now. You know what I mean? So, we need me 2 more likes too, you know. You understand me? Yeah, man. And if you don't know me at all good, get me to 100 likes in here tonight as well. Let's go to the family member. We have Champagne right there, so. All right, to the family member, you know. I can hear this.
We are happy that justice was done.
All right.
20 years, 10 months, how close to justice does that take you?
We are happy that justice was done, but we are a little bit unhappy. We thought that the aggravating factors would have been more than the mitigating factors. But it is what it is, and he definitely has to now recognize that he has to do the time for the crime that he has done. So all in all, we are happy with the length, but we could have been a little happier.
How far would you have wanted?
I think we would have wanted the full 25 years. 25 years would have been where we would have been 100%.
What's next for the family?
Well, we're still at a place of closure. I think now we have more closure. It's just for us now to really reflect again as a family. The whole point of this was just to make sure that we humanize Melissa, that she was just not an ex-politician's wife, or she was just not another female who was murdered, but she was remembered as a person, a cousin, a mother, We will continue in years coming to reflect on her that way. Her memory will always be alive because the movement is just not going to be a protest here, a protest there. After the case, it's nothing. So that is really what we're focused on. And for her kids are now going to be in a position where we as family have to continue to be around them, to mentor them, and to make sure now that they have a quality of life growing up that is going to not want to put them in any mental state or psychological state. So, you know, these are the things that as a family going forward, we know.
I thought long and hard about asking about the children because of how traumatizing it is. I'm happy you went there. How are the children?
They're well. They're settling down. They're in school. They have their sporting progress, so they're good. It's as you can imagine for children dealing with this, losing their grandmother 6 months before losing their mother, and now this circumstance has happened with their father. It's as adults, none of us can deal with that, much less children. So it will be a difficult time for them, but they're good. And they'll continue to be good, and as a family, we'll continue to wrap our arms around them and support them.
Do they talk about the incident?
They don't really talk about the incident, and a lot of it is just, you know, they're doing their best to make sure mentally that they can stay afloat as much as children really can. Where they do speak about it, you know, we don't, as family, we don't shield it. We will listen, and as best as we can provide counsel. You know, Chris has been absolutely phenomenal with the children. So we do what we can.
The judge found that Mr. Silvera was more strategic than remorseful, what the family makes of that.
Yeah, that is clear. The case was methodologically shown that it was a strategic move. Nobody deserves to have a family member die, and then it is a cover up. At the end, so it is unfortunate, but we agree that it was a strategic cover-up.
Thank you.
12 months before parole, were you satisfied with the parole time that was given?
We were a bit surprised at the end when the matter of parole came up. As a family, we would have wished that there was no entitlement to parole. But if the justice system allows somebody to have parole and that is within the law and the judge sees it fit, our feelings are our feelings, but you know, somebody's entitlement is their entitlement.
What do you make? 20 years, 10 months, how close to justice was that?
So you said a lot, not totally satisfied, but pleased, you understand me, and would have wanted the most, just like most people, just like myself included. You understand me? Again, when I represent on the matter, I tell you what I see and how they make these decisions. Again, you talk about Sykes, who a lot of people know say a PNP Sykes lean towards, allegedly, just from what we see and what we know. You understand me, I said to you? So, to see some kind of, again, the fact that we don't have any riots going on in Jamaica over what's been done. Now, do we believe that the 21 years is absolute justice for Melissa? I don't believe that, right? This is not what I'm defending. Sometimes we don't understand what people are saying when them say what them say, right? Again, I say at minimum, I'm happy that the decisions that were taken, those decisions ensured that, you know, this man will be spending time in prison. And it doesn't mean to say him absolutely have to come out in 13 years. But a precedence has been set, and maybe based on this, it probably will be reason to, again, for the lawmakers to look at this and to figure out if it would have made sense for things to be more stringent. But the law as it is right now, just like the family members say, has to be adhered to. Leonie Lioness, I saw your request, but I just played the DPP's statement earlier, and it was quite lengthy. I'm not going to do that anymore, but you're going to have to catch that one at the replay. It is on Nationwide. You can catch it on Nationwide. You understand me? We spoke on that already. Champagne, the defense lawyer, make way what Champagne have to say.
That is not something that...
Good afternoon. 20 years for manslaughter after a guilty plea. After a long time, appeal incoming.
That is not something that we have determined as yet, because when you look at it in the context of 20 years, remember that the calculation in terms of imprisonment, you serve 2/3 of that once you are on good behavior. So it may very well be a situation where, in relation to the 20 years to which you refer, it may very well calculate to be about 13 years, consistent with the eligibility for parole in respect of the committing felony using a firearm, which is the recommendation that the Chief Justice said 13 years again of eligibility in terms of parole. So in long and short of it, what we're looking at is really, in real terms, 13 years, provided that certain conditions are met. In the context of everything, I would not be quick to say Court of Appeal at all. And I want to use this opportunity to, first of all, thank Ms. Riley, who has been, Ms. Patrice Riley, who assisted me in this matter. I want to thank the media.
All right, so that represents the long and the short.
Members of the public,
that represent the long and the short of what he has to say about that. I think we have a thing from Sykes. Sykes was explaining the breakdown of the whole thing. Some of you all heard that today. I didn't watch the entire case today. You understand what I'm saying to you? Let us hear if we can hear a piece of Sykes right now. I believe Sykes did also do some explanations as to how he arrived at that sentencing. You understand me? By the way, we can do a poll in the thing right now. For those of you who believe, if you believe justice was served, you understand me? Please type yes in the chat. If you believe justice was not served, type no. Remember, you're still entitled to your opinion or your feelings about the situation, you know. You understand me? I am not the maker of the law. If you notice, even the judge had limitations, the lawyer had limitations. Who am I? Just an old blogger with 2 liquor behind him. You understand me? But if you believe that justice was served, you can type it. You understand me? Somebody say partially. Okay. No problem with that. So if you believe it's partially, you can put it. If you believe it's a yes, you can put it. Come on, people. Type in the chat and let me know, man. Even if you agree or disagree. You understand me? Let me know. Somebody say yes, family. Big up. Somebody say yes. We got a no. Another no. You understand me? We have a yes. We have a no. We have no. I figured. Come on, type the yes or the no. Them don't be. You understand me? Let me know. I'm not gonna call in a name. Just tell me if a yes or a no. Do you believe that justice was served? Let me know, folks. You understand me? Greetings, Beverly. Big up yourself, same way. You understand me? Somebody else saying partially, right? Some people not taking the vote at all. So that tells us a PNP over here. Or some people them so vexed that they're not gonna engage, right? But hey, it is what it is. It's water on the bridge. Again, somebody else saying partially. Again, if someone say yes and someone say partially, somebody say was hoping for maximum time. So I'm getting big up yourself, by the way, Cherry Lips. You understand me? So Cherry Lips is saying was hoping for maximum time. Most of us would have hoped for that. But again, I hope we can use this situation in a court. And what I would recommend, is that even though I'm going to catch the whole eye today, I'm the kind of person that I will go back and sit down and I will make time to listen to the explanations and I will do my own research because knowledge is power, right? And these are the people who practice the law. But to say that the DPP, to say it was a failed situation for the DPP, I absolutely don't believe that. Somebody say, good evening, Steady. Welcome to the Steady. Okay, good evening and welcome to the Steady Show, everybody. Somebody say, yes, to think that he tried to cover it up. And if it wasn't for the autopsy, he would be walking around. You understand me? Big up yourself, Perline. Again, I feel like a lot of people, we just keep looking, we're trying to measure this thing based on how we feel about it. Again, if you're not a lawyer or you not deal in law, you understand me? But I'm sure this is not the first case. I'm sure we've seen scenarios where it looked like it was going to go a particular way, and then because of law and how people can maneuver the law, it doesn't work that way. All right, I think we have Sykes right now. Let the learned judge speak. Let me hear what I say. I know.
10 months. That's the time.
Let's hear this.
For
count 2.
1 second.
In terms of count 2, we are at 20 years, 10 months, and that's the time for count 2. In respect of count 1, well, I'm just a trial judge. I am not at liberty to ignore the words of the parliamentarians, and they have indicated that there is a minimum and a maximum, and they have indicated that the minimum is 20 years, maximum is 25. So again, a guilty plea is of inherent value, whether it shows remorse or not. At least that's my view. And so I can't go below what Parliament has said. I know Mr. Champagne has referred me to the decision from the Privy Council, but they are the Privy Council. So I think that it would be improper of me to do that, not because counsel is inherently wrong, but I think it is something that deserves full argument, that all the circumstances surrounding the legislation and so on, and all the relevant case law has been examined. It's very difficult to do that in the context of sentencing, and unless it's a clear authority from our Court of Appeal or the Privy Council to that effect. So on respect of count 1, sir, sentence is 20 years, that's a minimum. So the other principle of sentencing is that sentences arising out of, offenses arising out of the same factual circumstances are to run concurrently unless there is some good reason not to do so. There is no good reason not to do so in this case. So both offenses, sentences on both offenses, count 1 and count 2, are to run concurrently. So it's 20 years on count 1, 20 years, 10 months on count 2, and so.
It is
All
what
right,
it is,
so
and
again, you hear what the man said a while ago. As much as we thought that the judge has the supreme power to make whatever ruling he deems necessary, no, he has to follow sentencing guideline. Somebody says Parliament should now increase those sentences. You understand me? There we go. So we would have to look at it now from that standpoint. You understand me? We might not like some rules, some traffic rules that are out there, traffic laws that are out there, but if we don't abide by them, I will break them. Just understand that if you break the existing laws, you will have to deal with the penalties. If anything is to change, then they will have to change the laws in order, you understand me, for the outcomes to be different. So we have to understand that everybody has to go by guidelines. I like this comment right here. Paulette is saying, listening to the arguments put forward by the judge, there is a better understanding of the sentence, but I don't agree with the parole. Very good arguments. You understand me? But again, what the first person just typed a while ago, make the penalties tougher. Again, at some point, we need to remember that until recently, we've been largely a murder capital, right? That's what Jamaica has been. And a lot of people lose their life, and the family members never see justice for them. So we still have a legal process that's working. Again, family, if you want to put things in a perspective, for how long the PNP been running Jamaica, and we about cases and backlogs and all manner of foolishness, people that do all kind of manner of crime and so on. But they're not held accountable because we hear about this a judge buyout, that the judge buyout. So we step up the thing and we're now seeing good progress. Let us not get so caught up in our emotions. You understand me? It's a tragic loss for Melissa Silvera, but unlike a lot of people, I don't see, I see a lot of other cases out there that I feel should get this kind of attention as well. And we see it. But in Jamaica, we have a habit when certain people are the victims, we tend to have more stronger feeling. And I can understand in this situation, Silvera was a former lawmaker and this scheme. But this uptown business, a whole heap of things are going on in a full local, backyard that sometimes we don't really have the same kind of emotions for, which I find very disappointing. Now, that's just my thing with Jamaican people sometimes. But I understand, again, we can't change the law to suit us just because it didn't work in our favor, right? Because if somehow we did relate it to Silvera, then we would have wanted the best outcome for him, regardless of what the rest of everybody else. And the next thing we have to think about is that the children are involved, and based on conversations and what is known generally, those are considerations as well. We might just look at Silvera as one person who we want the full extent of the law to reach, but he's still the father of Miss Silvera's children, and regardless of what happens, you still have that family connection thing going on. So it's complicated. So for me, it would have been ideal that we got stiffer penalties or greater penalties for the man. You understand what I say? But all in all, I like the fact that, the DPP has secured, they went the safer route for all the obvious reasons in the world. And now this man will be spending some serious time in a prison. So if this sends a clear message, especially to the top and hours uptown people, because let's be honest, and this is where we end the show. I'm going to talk free right now, right? If you haven't subscribed to the show yet, subscribe to the show. We need 7 more likes to get to 100. You understand me? Let's get to 100 likes before we come off. I'm seeing we're at 94. Let's get 6 more likes. We're getting ready to close this conversation right now. You understand me? For me, this represents, progress. How I look at situations like this is like I would look at the Jamaica under PNP and how everything did just mash up. Crime high, economy mash up. You understand me? Everything just run right down at the ground. And then the JLP takes over, and the JLP is doing much better and, improve a lot of things. Some people, they're still focusing on the Jamaica from under PNP. For some people, they are not going to see the progress that has been made because of how bad things were. No. We have to look at progress, right? So I feel that under this administration, as much as we are disappointed, we need to also know that this is a win. And for the labor rights out there who just love rundown PNP business, just understand that this is just one case. There are a lot of other things that we ought to be concerned and we ought to care about. And we don't want the whole heap of, the digging up of the case and the retrying and the rehashing and the confusion. No. We need to move forward and focus on building Jamaica right now. We are bigger. We have a lot of things to focus on. I like what I'm seeing right now. I just saw 102 individuals in the chat. I saw 102 likes. We got to the 102 likes. So big up to the people that are watching. If you haven't subscribed as yet, make sure you subscribe. We're at 54 minutes. You understand me? And I think we did well. Let me hear what the people have to say. Again, I did not come here to try to explain or to justify, right? But I'm here to say what represents a win for me. A win for everybody looks at a win depending on what is going on. You understand me? I said to you, some people see it as a win. I didn't get a lot of no's. I got some people mixed reactions. So it tells me that we got more than we expected. Even if we're disappointed, we can say for sure that we never expected, Mrs. Cheryl this evening on Facebook said, Cheryl said, Champion lose one case. Finally. Because everybody know that Champity is a name brand lawyer. I thought that was funny. I want to go out there. People have different thoughts and different feelings. But 21 years in prison for Jolyan Silvera, the DPP, and of course, it won't be very long before something else come up and we're not thinking about Silvera anymore. You understand me? The family is at ease somewhat. I don't know if you're the kind of person who would have preferred go to trial or will lose the case rather than we secure sentencing, or you don't want to pay any regard to all the sentences, the evidence that was removed, knowing that when it comes to murder, you have to be able to prove beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt. Then me understand what it is to be stubborn. I'm a Taurus. We are some of the most stubborn people in the world. You understand me? But somebody say, I don't like the end results, but the judge explained the case. So I'm saying, let us look at the explanation. Let us look at what we've learned. You understand me? Somebody say, I like the breakdown. I keep, big up to Justice Sykes for the breakdown because the people like it. I believe that was important. So, Millie G, I believe that is also a win. And for all the people who say it was an explanation, just look at it for what it is. We've been kept in the dark about a lot of things. So the mere fact that this one was something that we could, we could see and we could hear what went on, and we never had to depend on the gleaner. We never had to depend on the gleaner or just the news houses, but we could listen for ourselves. You understand me? And we could hear and we could make assessments based on our own understanding. You understand me? Some of us, we are going to understand things, that we're going to look at things in a different light than others. You don't necessarily mean to say we are brighter than other people. You understand me? Or other people don't make sense to believe what they believe. No. And you see, one of the reasons why the Steady Show is a good show, is that on the Steady Show, we talk about the stuff that we not gonna always agree on. Me not gonna see eye to eye on. Yes, me talk strong. Yes, me assert my points when I'm talking, but it don't necessarily mean to say I believe I am right about what I say. You understand me? And trust and believe that if I go back and I do my own research and I look at it otherwise, we can talk about that too. But for me, I believe that we should celebrate, you understand me, the progress that we're seeing in terms of, the law. Remember this DPP just sent when Noel Maitland again, Noel Maitland, he was a law enforcement. This DPP sent when Noel Maitland, that's a big win. You understand me? Remember Cameron, who did say Dr. Kevin Blake can't remove him from his position. You understand me? The same DPP said no, he should be charged, and they slap him with the charges. Pay attention. This is no lightweight DPP. Not because she brown skin and she white like Mark Golden. Because enough people out there, I'm never talk steady politics now because I'm getting ready to close. Look how Mark Golden don't make no sense in Jamaica, but we are live with it every single day. You understand me? And he's the opposition leader in Jamaica. Yet we have the DPP that look like the rest of us, who is making good calls. And we're not going to always agree, but the DPP's success rate in comparison to a lot of DPPs before, it's very commendable. And we need to look at that as well. This DPP just really took over the reins, but she worked under Paula. Again, when you look at PNP, did want to get rid of Paula Llewellyn because the PNP have enough things in a court. You see, when I have to see the bigger play sometime, This is bigger than Melissa Silvera. You have to look at what the PNP been trying to do. You understand me? By trying to get rid of the real worker in the system. Because them have a lot of people who them know say if them under one unfair system, they not get away. Furthermore, how can we not be grateful? You really think say if PNP did in a power, you believe say Silvera would have get this a sentence in where Silvera get today. Big up yourself in my brethren, Jamaica 87. No, you talk to me. Let's do a survey before we close the show. Do you believe that if the PNP was in power, that Silvera would be locked away for 21 years? And whether you want to look at 13, let's be honest now. Don't be stubborn. Put it in the chat. All right, somebody say me I talk the truth. Me just need one more somebody to say me I talk the truth, because Jesus said, where 2 or 3 witnesses are gathered, I am in the midst. See the people I said no, don't put in the no them in the chat, because again me tell you say truth no feel. Everybody knows that the truth hurt. The people are saying no, put the no them in the chat. Look for the one if I know them. Look for no. You know say it never go happen. See they see the know them there. Somebody says solid as a rock steady. Big up yourself and get me some subscribe. I'm sure, but you don't need to subscribe to the show, you know. Because of this kind of reasoning I go on over here at night time. You understand me? See the know them in the chat there. That man, we can't have a cake and eat it sometime, people. We know that if the PNP was in power, we not see all this would happen. I don't believe. See there. No with them. No, we can agree. We did disagree before, you know. But no, we agree. You understand what I said to you? We are in agreement again. Not once somebody say yes. Somebody say you would walk free. It's so true. That's what I'm talking about, family. Thank you so much. Big up on yourself. See the like them gone up there again. That means just say the people them know say me a chat good on the show. Right? Again, when you come and stay the show, some things we're going to just talk about. By the way, 2 stories in one. Cause I think we settled that now. And we're going to feel how we feel about it. But again, me feel good and you can't tap me for and feel good. But if you don't feel bad, me probably can't stop on it. But me couldn't vex. You understand me? But when you see the disrespect where does go on within a parliament today, I want to play that, you know. When you see how does disrespect the Desmond, brother Desmond in the parliament today. When you see all the PNP, you see how they stay. See people them I work with me, man. You understand me? Make we hear all the one does go on. We have to put this on record. Disrespectful does, dirty bungle does, man. You understand me? Disrespected the parliament and disrespected the senior parliamentarian, man. This is the kind of behavior that they want to go on with. Somebody say happy Friday. Somebody say tired of PNP. Somebody say I am so caught up about it. I'm telling you, let us play it, man. You understand me?
So it's safe to say that there is no new CEO. There's no newly appointed CEO.
Can you move on to the next question? Because obviously you're not understanding.
We have a CEO in place for 4 weeks while somebody's on vacation. Why are you still here at your age?
Dirty bungle.
You go man play with the grandparents, man. Remember. Go play with the grandchildren, I agree.
Next question. Next question.
Costume Desmond.
May I remind you, member, that you're not the chair here. And 2, when the member who is given the floor diverted into having, you are not the chair.
Run him.
Members. Members.
He would never do that. It is an outrage. What is an outrage?
What's tricky, Nicky?
So it's safe to say that there is no new seed.
So, even though notice Tough Tan style, even though Tough Tan afraid, you know. Anybody see how Tough Tan style him up front? Tough Tan said, let's move on because he clearly don't understand. So it look like him turned it on Brother Desmond. But what a disrespect to the elder statesman, Desmond McKenzie. I mean, like how Desmond McKenzie raised him up there and said, look upon you should have shaved by yourself. And PNP, you know, they were quite entertained by what happened, you know. And this is how they expect to conduct politics in the country, the hooligan behavior in the parliament in front of the people, right? This is what they want. So the people in the chat, I said them out of order. You understand me? Out of order, then out of order, right? So, somebody said Dawes is a scum along with his PNP criminal organization. The people are talking about it. Disrespectful to the elder. Somebody say he needs to resign from the committee. You understand me? Very, very out of order individual. You understand me? Somebody said dirty Dawes. Right? Because based on how him conduct for himself this evening, that dirty bungle behavior that, you know, we can't even put down Dr. upon his name again, you know. You understand me? Because he's not a respectable person. Same does when it can lie about them poison him, the one where turn up in a people's face and lie to them about drill, lie to them about UA Hospital. He's a liar. So if you notice what is happening, you know, is that the reason they make sure they move Damien from this committee or the PAC the other day is they want somebody like Dawes, because Dawes want to, you know, be disrespectful in the parliament and get away with it, and then PNP will be very entertained by them being disrespectful in the parliament, because clearly them don't have no policy. See that, you know, knowing works, it tough to have to move on because him don't understand. So them bring these whole heap of new politicians in the parliament, you know, and them don't know what them are do, but then dress up every day and they believe that they know more than the government. And just like I said last night, me say we have to be more serious about the fourth term than the third term. You understand me? Because a lot of people who are come now, they are newbies, they don't know nothing about it, right? Everybody remember when they started out, they don't even know how to conduct themselves in the parliament, know to follow the standing orders and all of those things. But it seems to me that what they're doing now is that they're trying to be disruptive. Because as I said before, PNP, they believe that politics is entertainment. They think it's a sport. They think it's vibes politics is what PNP deal with. They don't deal in policy. And we have to recognize this kind of nonsense for what it is. In 2026, we can't be voting for vibes and voting for personality. You understand me? We have to vote for policies that make things better. Because if we never had Hurricane Melissa, PNP still wouldn't, and said they won or whatever, they would not have been able to continue on the growth path that Dr. Andrew Holness was on, because we know how them behave already. When taxpayer money reaching out for them hand, we see it in the municipalities and we see it everywhere. Right? I'm going to try to start up a whole different show. Right? But we see what is happening. We see the money where them collect. You understand? We go set up them whole GoFundMe. There's no accountability for that. Right? Every time money reach in a freedom hand, it's a problem. We can't take the chance and allow people like them here to come back in power, because I believe it would have been worse before. So now that we've been hit by Melissa, it means that it's even more serious that the JLP gets the fourth term to continue building. We're not following where people like a Dan Jackson Miller are trying to suggest to us that, yeah man, Andrew doing 3 terms them and now so Andrew can move on. No, none of that foolishness. The key thing is to build up the country and to push the country forward. You understand me? So that push the country forward so that Jamaica can continue to under God prosper. You understand me? So family, thank you so much.
And in the evening too.
Thank you so much.
The place steady show in the morning and in the evening too. Yeah. This is
you understand me? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we will talk again, family. Thank you. No. More on to the big up on yourself. You understand me?
Steady show
Green up the chat as we go, family. Thank you so much. Green up the chat. Subscribe if you have not yet done so. 21 years for Silvera. 21 years for Silvera. Justice served. Big up to the DPP. Big up to everybody. Green up the chat, man. Peace out.
Family's protected by the Most High.
Family, thank you so much for joining. Do have a great evening until we talk again. Blessed love. Steady.